know that. Did you have relations with a kangaroo?
I got too close to that pouch, is all I can say.
Yeah. Is this a moustache that has ever appeared in nature?
No, although I must say sometimes wearing that moustache felt like you were sort of French kissing a badger. So people couldn't say it's...
Did they try and give it a Hollywood name like Death Kill 5000?
You see, well, actually, that'll be that'll be the title on video. You know,
right.
That'll be part of the...
They're buddy cops. He was a guy, she was a girl. They exploded with passion.
Last night.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it's Tottenham.
Oh, yeah, Christ! Oh, you mean...
What did you think I was talking about?
Well, I'm not sure what I thought you were...
last night?
Yeah, don't tell anybody about that.
Let's practice your suspicious poker faces. So you're suspicious, but you didn't do it. Okay, so we'll just imagine someone on the sofa has just let one rip. Okay, already you're terrible, Ken. You're useless. You're the detective.
But someone has let one rip, and I didn't...
Must all go here and do what I say.
Hi, I'm Ken Branagh, and this is my Disney Princess ranking. So at number 5, big number 5, high up the list is Sleeping Beauty. I love her. I mean, I think she has a lot of issues with sleeping. She almost, you could argue, sleeps too much, and that's the only thing that doesn't push her further up the list. But otherwise, she's a terrific girl, handles apples mainly pretty well, but you know, she's good.
When I was 8, I had boils on my knee. My mother used to squeeze them with hot and cold poultices. It was agony, and she used to say to me, I have to be cruel to be kind.
Yes.
And about 15 years later, I discovered that line was in Hamlet, and I said, you realize you were quoting Hamlet when you were squeezing the boils on my knees? That's the reason I've got this obsession. She didn't know where it had come from.
Just one after the other.
Whenever I do that scene in the film, actually, I can never forget my mother squeezing the boils in my knees. Suddenly this image shoots across my mind.
My costume was picked fresh every morning. Well, it was ivy. It was ivy.
Number 4, late-breaking entry at number 4, Snow White. Very social, very sociable, terrific party organizer. She's got 7 friends she brings with her the whole time. They're really funny, interesting, different kinds of people. A lot of singing, and I think that's really fun. So she's in it at number 4.
It was coming a little bit from, I don't come from here, maybe from the little South Valley. Ultimately, he don't really speak English.
Well, I think your character sounds a little bit like Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Okay.
He's not really works in a fashion store, doesn't really have an accent from anywhere.
I don't know. I think possibly both these guys, my guy has no consonants. No consonant, all legal vowels. All legal vowels. He got vowels, and you do that, he does this. Both were very, very difficult. And now he moved somewhere to the, the east.
Watch The Big Chill now. From the first scene, people are saying, I love you. I love you. Yeah. And which is on the whole, and I do love you.
But in your film, they say in a British accent, they say, oh, I love you, actually.
I love you. So, much monopano.
Number 3, Belle. I needed to put a real intellectual from Beauty and the Beast, obviously. Big reader, you know, heavily into books. Little snobby about the provincial life thing, but I think that you can talk her out of that. But basically, you know, she's read a lot of stuff. I think she deserves her.
Ken had a big lunch.
So you cut Shakespeare, which is a weird thing to do. You're like, Shakespeare cut, you know.
Well, it's funny. I mean, people would say, I'd say to friends that I'm doing this, and they go, yeah, actually, I haven't read Love's Labour's Lost for a little while. You haven't read Love's Labour's Lost? You know,
I never say, when people say to me, like a classic that I haven't read, I never go, you know what, I never read that. I always go, yeah, a long time ago, a little hazy.
Yeah, and then, so you can feel in as you go, as a little bluffers thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's when people trick you, don't you? They say, well, do you remember that lovely scene where the guy kills the girl with an axe? And yeah, there was no scene where the guy killed the girl with an axe.
Culture has taken us into a different...
Number 2, Ariel in Little Mermaid. I mean, the real problem there, I think, from my point of view, it's a little problem, it's just the land thing, not so good on the land, and really, quite frankly, doesn't care too much about the water. So there's really a sort of, you know, where you function kind of question for her. It makes it very, very interesting, however.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, on the left, they call him the postman because he always delivers. It's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua!
looking at?
They call him the courier.
The courier.
Because he sometimes delivers. Unless he gets stuck in traffic. Yes, it is Greg, Man, Mountain, David!
It's good, I think, sometimes when it's turned back on the therapist. And so I want to ask you, what are your secret desires? What do you think of when you wake up in the middle of the night?
So how's the film anyway? Did you shoot it in Russia?
Shakespeare. Shakespeare or Shakespeare.
But at number one, it has to be, you know I'm right about this, it's Cinderella. Cinderella, she has courage, she has kindness, especially in the new Disney film version.
I'll tell you what was going through my head. I looked at him, I was this far from his face, and all I could think of was, you were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off!
Well, I had to quote a bit of Shakespeare. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlip and the nodding violet grows quite over-canopied, I said. The word is o'er-canopied in Shakespeare. It's a minor change, but Judy noticed. And so she looked at me, the eyes started to go, and then I went on and I paraphrased another line, and she started laughing in my face while we were shooting. And so we got to the end.
It's in the film.
It is in the film, because I said at the end, well, you probably know this, don't you? You can carry on, and you did. She finished the end of the scene. It's in the movie. So it was...
From a land that time forgot, from a people you don't care about, comes a very indifferent mixture.
Okay, answer me this then. Riddle me this. So what? You know, it's cement. I mean, presumably there's a timer on this. I've got stuff to do. I don't be stuck there for another.
You don't have to wait till it sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Riddle me this as well. So, so say you get them out. How do you wash cement off your feet? Is there?
Oh, I think that's pretty easy. Yeah, just a little bit of borax, and you get that right off.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no problem at all. Don't worry.
Done.
You're going to be fine.
Were you nervous about directing Kane and also, I mean, working with Harold Pinter?
Only about 150%.
Dinner party Nazis. You know, the people who are just
right,
another one down.
Judy, if I ask you who you play, will you remember?
Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
Yeah, right on it. Who's she?
Is that it?
Very good.
Goodness knows. Some bird that sat around with a lot of jewellery.
It's a bit more than that, you know. It's the handkerchief, and, you know, the kind of maid. Olivia Colman's the maid. You know,
You're telling me now.
Christ, this is what I had to deal with. This is what I had to... Amateurs, bloody amateurs.
The course of true love never did run smooth. Shake if you know.
That's Shakespeare.
Okay, Kenneth, do you think that's Shakespeare or not?
I think it's Shakespeare, I think. Or as you might say, Shakespeare. Also young and beautiful and sexy and everything. For a dinosaur like me, way back, they used to have this advert on the telly, everything at Butlins was free, you know, because all the rides were free and everything was free.
Olaf and Frozen in a film.
Well, you know, Olaf was available. You know, he's cheap. They were all cheap. I mean, really, you know, a lot of them don't work anymore.